working at that indie studio showed me everything I was doing wrong as a solo game developer, and it forever changed how I approach making games now. Here's what happened. Hey everyone, Gael here. I am a solo indie game developer and I'm currently working on my survival horror game called Silent Corruption. In this channel, I share my journey as a game developer, all the things that I learned, some tips and tools to help you make progress on your game. Today, I'm taking you back to my very first job in the games industry as a Unity programmer for both Path of the Teal Lotus at Squidshock Studio. I worked remotely for almost 2 years and I have to say it was an amazing experience that totally changed how I make games now. Squidshock Studio is an indie game studio that was originally founded by Christopher Stair. He started working in both Path of the Teal Lotus as a solo project, but eventually he brought in Trevor Youngquist as the main programmer because Chris is an artist. This game is a beautiful 2.5D action platformer Metroidvania inspired by Japanese folklore with hand-drawn art and a banger of a soundtrack. I first discovered both Path of the Teal Lotus on Twitter and I immediately thought, wow, this game looks so cool. Pretty much fell in love with it straight away. I even backed it on Kickstarter as soon as the campaign went live and basically became a proper fan from then on. Then after that I joined the Discord server just to follow up with the developer updates, and then one day they announced that they needed a Unity programmer to help Trevor and I was just like, okay, I have to apply here because I really want to work on this game. I already knew this game was gonna be really big and was gonna have a lot of success. So I applied and I ended up having a call through Discord with Trevor. And I showed him a few prototypes of things I had been working on my own. Nothing too fancy, it was actually like really basic. But it was enough to show him what I could do. And the interview was like super chill. It was more like a conversation, you know. And a few days after, Trevor told me that I got the job and I was beside myself. I was honestly so happy because this was my first proper job in the game industry and I was working on a project I was really passionate about. So this was both brilliant and terrifying. When I started, the team was still quite small. We were just a handful of people and we were all working remotely from different parts of the world. So it was a proper indie studio. And honestly, that made it so much more exciting to be part of. So as a Unity programmer, most of my work was on the backend side of things. On my end, I built a lot of systems that you see in the game, like pretty much all the UI logic, any sort of UI you see in the game, like the inventory system, the Daruma system, the charms, the options. Obviously, Trevor optimized and polished it for launch after me, but I built like the core logic. I also made other systems like the shops, the map system, I set up the dialogue, I set up the localization, and a lot of the things I'm probably forgetting now, but I have to tell you about the first big system that Trevor first assigned to me, which was the map system. This was rather at the beginning, so by then I didn't have that much experience yet. I hadn't built like a big system from beginning to end, and basically when Trevor told me that I needed to do the whole map system, I properly freaked out. And this is something that I think nobody knows, that I didn't tell anybody, but I actually had to buy a course on how to do a map system in Unity because I had no idea and I was so worried that they will fire me. So I had to buy this course to just have a basic idea of what I needed to do. But eventually I managed to build the map system and I showed them to Trevor and Chris and they were happy with it and I was like so relieved. Honestly, it was really cool that they trust me with these big systems and I'm really grateful because I learned a ton. So Chris and Trevor are Americans, but they actually live in Thailand. So by the time that I started working at 6 in the morning, it was midday for them. So I just wake up, have my breakfast, and prepare for the day and go over all the tasks that Trevor assigned me and just going through all the things that the team had done during the night. And we mainly communicate and work through Discord. And we also have like a meeting every Friday just to catch up and tell each other what we have been doing during the week with the rest of the team. So most of my day was very independent. Trevor will maybe have a call with me when I started to work and just assign me the task of the day or the week, and I will work on my own and just update him on what I was doing, and then he will check on my work and give me feedback. So it was pretty chill. I didn't work that much with the rest of the team because for the rest it was also pretty much the same workflow as me. Everybody was working on their own thing, and also we all have different time zones because everybody was from a different place in the world. So the workflow was pretty much everybody was working independently, and then we will like update each other on things that needed to be done here and there. Even though I was working as a programmer in this project, one of the things that I would have liked to do a bit more was having more input on the game design, because I am a solo developer, so that means that I had to learn about a lot of things, and game design was one of them. But I understood my role, and I was happy focusing on making the backend system work properly. Overall, it was a really cool experience. Working alongside people that are really passionate, it was brilliant, and I'm really proud of what we all achieved. Before I continue telling you about my time above, I just wanted to tell you about a live stream I'm doing every Wednesday, which is a body doubling game dev session to help us make progress on our games. Basically, you work on your game and I work on my game in the background, so we can keep each other motivated for a solid 3-hour session. I don't talk through the session, just a little bit at the beginning just to introduce the live stream. I have no face camera, it's just me recording my screen, and I have some chill music on the background because I don't want the live stream to be distracting. So if you struggle to work on your game or just want some company while you're working, the link is in the description. Check it out. So my contract was pretty much until the end of alpha, which is the time in development where you're building all the features but you're not properly testing yet. And then after that is beta, where you focus more on testing and polishing before launch. So reaching alpha was a huge accomplishment from the whole team, and by that point I had been working with them about almost 2 years. And seeing everything come together was such a good feeling. And finally the game got released on July 2024, and I played through all of it in one day, and when I saw myself on the credits I pretty much cried because I was so happy and so proud to have worked on this amazing game. When my time on the project ended, I left with so much more experience. Basically, I learned a ton about how to build big features, how to work smarter, and build features that actually hold in a full game, not just a prototype. So even if you're a solo dev, you need to start thinking of yourself as a team of one. And plan like you had to hand your systems to somebody else. Build with future you in mind. So whenever you have to go back to see what you've done, or if you need help in the future and you bring somebody else to help you with your game, everybody can understand what has been done and what needs to be done. Working at Squidshock made me realize how easy it is to cut corners when you're a solo developer, and how much smoother development will be if you treat yourself like a proper dev team. Would I do it again? Hell yeah! Working here was tough at times, but it was so worth it. Being part of something that you care about and seeing it come to life, it's just priceless. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love this one over here when I talk about what my survival horror game is about. See you there!